One of the strongest builds that I ever played in Path of Exile 2. The single target damage and the clear is just insane. It doesn't matter if you're doing Pinnacle bosses, Juice maps or the hardest waves of Simulacrum. This build will just melt anything while staying tonky. This is my flameblast Gemling Legionnaire. What's up guys, Pidget here. This build revolves around flameblast and the Gemling Legionnaire quality stacking for advanced thaumaturgy. To fit the Hellfire theme of this build, we're using flameblast because the art quality of this gem is giving you more magnitude of ignite per stage. Currently, we're getting 620% more magnitude of ignite, which is really a huge multiplier for this build. For clear, we're using oil grenade. This will spread the ignite from our flame blast. You will need crackly leap unique ring because this will enable to spread the ignite in 1.5 meters and that will ignite the oil ground. Shout out for the Chinese community for the clear tech. When you're entering in a map, you need to cast a single flame blast and you need to channel till you're reaching 10 stages and then release it, and this will ignite your enemies, and then just press oil grenade, and from this point you will keep the ignite damage that your flame blast was inflicted. Then just keep pressing oil grenade till the map completes. Very important, do not, I repeat, do not get any added fire damage anywhere on your gear. If you have any sort of added fire damage to attacks or extra fire damage, your oil grenade will getting bricked and it will not spread the ignite. Sadly, there is a drawback for this build, and that's the performance. Your GPU will melt as well if you're spamming on the same place the oil ground. If you're not stacking the oil ground, your performance should be okay, but even with that, I was experiencing a lot of frame drops and I don't know how it will work on weaker PCs. Also, there is a big problem. If you somehow your oil ground getting ignited by an enemy, it will just stops working and you need to recast the flame blast and the oil grenade once again. As always, I want to start with the items and what you need to look on your gear. Let's start with our weapon. Aiming a lot of extra levels for our flame blast. So this is why I have +7 to all fire spell skills, and also I have +1 to all spell skills as an additional prefix and also an additional level from our rune. So with total we getting 9 whole level from this staff alone, and this will provide you a lot of extra damage, and this is very crucial because the spells is scaling very well with your levels. Speaking about weapons, very important to mention our weapon. We're using the Redemption because the Redemption has this very unique line, gain 1 explosive rhythm every 2 times when you use a grenade skill, and that will grant you increased cooldown recovery rate, and basically this is how you can just run around and have every single time oil grenade charges, and that is helping very big time on the clear side. And when you're reaching 10 stacks, you will gaining explosive fever. That is also providing you increased attack speed, and also it will provide you the grenade skill which ignore the cooldown on it, and basically it will also explode on impact as well. Very important item guys is the ring. The ring, because ignites you inflict spreads to other enemies that stays within 1.5 meters for 1 second. This is very important because if you don't have this mat source in any way, such as like from the lower wave as well, because if you have a lower wave you can do that as well instead of this ring, you will not able to kill the flying enemies for instance, and also you will not spread the ignite as well from your Unreal ground. So that's why it's very crucial to use this unique ring. Next piece of gear is the Darkness Enthroned belt, and I gaining this item gain bonuses from socketed items as through it was a body armor, and I'm socketing here Fox Idol and the reduced curse effect on you. So basically we're getting almost immunity to all of the curses that exist in the game, and the rest of the items is rare items. So on the helmet we looking very big amount of energy shield and resistances, and basically that's it. On the body armor we care about once again huge energy shield and also resistances as always, and the gloves is the same. So this build is not scaling with crit damage or attack speed or anything, just basically you want a lot of energy shield on your gear as you can see here, and of course on your boots you want movement speed. And also the other ring is guys, we care only about this one, maximum mana I was get this one, but the main reason I using this ring because of the item rarity and the lot of resistance that it gives me. And once again guys, do not get any sort of that fire damage to your attacks. It will break your oil ground from your oil grenade. And the amulet, we're looking on the amulet, maximum energy shield, percentage maximum energy shield, and also I'm using here global armor, evasion, and energy shield as well, and also +3 to all spell skills. The endurance charge and the charge tech. So why we generating charges and why we need charges? So first thing first, the way we generating charges with the traumatic dynamism. So basically every 5 seconds you will generate a random charge based on your gems that you have. So the more gems that you have with like strength requirement, that will improve the chance to gain an endurance charge. And because we need endurance charge, because we're using the charge regulation, when you have one single endurance charge on one single whatever charge, you will gaining bonuses based on that one. So we care about the endurance charge and the frenzy charge, because the endurance charge provide you 90% more energy shield. That is a huge multiplier. And we care about the frenzy charge as well, because that is providing us increased skill speed. So that will make just the mapping a little bit more smoother while just moving around, because the frenzy charge will give you skill speed, that is attack speed, using this soul core, and that is very important. 50% chance when you gain an endurance charge to gain an additional endurance charge. That is helping us very big time to get 2 endurance charge at the same time, because charge regulation is also consuming every 14 seconds the endurance charge. So that's why it's kind of important, this rune. And the other rune I'm using here, dexterity, because I was needed dexterity, and also a little bit skill speed, because that is once again attack speed for this build. Now is the skill tree. The skill tree looks very weird. I can give you that, because you can see here the majority of the skill tree is allocated on the top side, and that is thanks to the split personality can allocate passive skills from the sorcerer starting point. And that is very important, guys, for this build. Without this Javel, you cannot path here efficiently, and you cannot get your flameblast running up, your ignite scaling up. So that's why it's very important, this one. You need to path here and then put it inside your unique Javel, and then you can unspec this one. This is how we don't need to connect to the starting point of the mercenary. And we're using 2 different weapon set. One weapon set is the flameblast weapon set that will just gives us a lot of extra fire damage. Ignite you inflict is dealing much faster, and so many things. And down there on weapon set 2, we taking the grenade related stuff, such as like increased cooldown recovery rate, aura effect, additional use, even more cooldown recovery rate, even more cooldown recovery rate. So this is why we have a very nice cooldown recovery rate oil grenade, and that is helping us on the clear. And this is why I path down here. And also I'm using a few javel as well into the build. So I'm using one megalomaniac. This is only important because the fabled stack, increased endurance, frenzy, and power charge duration. That is very important in my opinion, because that is giving you literally 21 second duration on your charges, and that is helping you to have much better uptime on your endurance charges. And if you low rolling your endurance charges or like your frenzy charge, this will keep up your duration as well. Prism of Belief +2 level of flameblast skills, because the +3 was super expensive for some weird reason, and this is providing us a lot of extra damage. And once again, the split personality here, this is very important as well. And without this, once again, you cannot play this build. The Ascendancy. So we're taking here the Essence of Virtue, because this is providing you the Virtuous Barrier, and basically you're getting a lot of extra energy shield, evasion, and armor, but we only care about the energy shield from this one. And also we getting a lot of extra mana recovery as well, and a little bit HP, but the HP, as you can see here, we CI build, so we don't care about that one. I taking here the Advanced Traumaturgy. Once again, this is why we playing this build, this Ascendancy, because it's providing you a lot of, a lot of extra damage. This is a lot of extra damage, guys. Here you gaining increased damage per charges. That is very important as well. On the oil grenade, you getting even better exposure. So basically that's why we playing this class. And you taking here the +2 all skills with intelligence requirement, because once again the flameblast has intelligence requirement, and this is how we pushing this one to level 28. And here we taking the gem studied, because once again when you balancing out your support gems, then you will gaining crit immunity, less mana cost, and also you will have 40% less movement speed penalty from using while moving. So that's why it's very important, guys, once again, to keep your support gem colors balanced, and you can just check here the capacity and how much you have currently. Now the skill gems, guys. So once again, majority of the time I aiming for the support gem capacity and to balance out the numbers. So that's why we're using here like elemental focus, rapid attack, and defy. You're not using your grenade ability, or you're not using your consecrate ability, or all the other like artillery ballista, gas grenade, flash grenade, cluster grenade. You're not using any of that. This is just for the support gem count, and also to increase our chances to gain the endurance charge and the frenzy charges. So that's why we're using strength and dexterity requirement gems here, because if you are looking at, you can see here strength and dexterity on these ones. Now the very important gems and gem links. So flameblast, and you will using Subspire here, Searing Flame 2, Eternal Flame 2, Consecrated Area, and Considered Casting. On the elemental weakness, you're using Curse Ground and Hate and Curse. Basically, that's it. Charge regulation without any sort of support gem. We're using here Wolfpack with Amonut Height and Romira Recuatal and Feeding Frenzy, and also Minion Instability. The reason why we're using that, because this is providing us something, a little buff effect, because otherwise I don't know what would I use my spirit on it, because basically, guys, I can very easily, you know, face tank majority of the game, so I don't know what other thing I should get there. And OE grenade, once again, this is our clear ability, very important. We're using multi-shot here, magnifying area 2, short fuse 1, because the short fuse 2 will immediately blow up your grenade, kinda awkward while you just clearing. And I'm using here encroaching ground, because this is additional area effect, and this is can spread the whole ignite in the whole screen. Very useful support gem, and we're using Nova projectiles, so that's why we shooting out 3 OE grenade with one single attack, and this literally covers the entire screen with one single click. Well, guys, this is one of the strongest build that I played in Path of Exile 2, and as you can see, we have a lot of energy shield. I think this is new record for me, because the last time when I had like that much energy shield, that was with the feast, right? That was, you know, nerf science. So basically this is the highest energy shield, science 0.1. I definitely enjoyed this build, and I definitely recommending you guys as well in the late game, in the end game, and just for farming purposes as well, because if you have a mage blood, you can go much faster. Until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidgeot2. Thanks for watching. I was Pidgeot. See you next time.